We are going to be speaking to one of the organizations, one of the numerous organizations on the continent of Africa supporting SMEs and startups right here. As we have been talking, SMEs throughout this week, looking at how dominant they have been in the business sector. 90% of registered businesses in Ghana are SMEs. SMEs contribute to 70% of Ghana's GDP, yet no one face the number one problem is actually funding. So we are going to be engaging Ndifreke Newara. I cannot really mention the other name. I hope he pardons me. But he happens to be the founder of Invoicia, CEO. That's the Growth Factor Technologies. And they are into financing startups and SMEs in Ghana. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Africa Daily Show.
Hello, good afternoon.
I hope I mentioned your name correctly. If not, you'd pardon
Not
me.
exactly.
Okay, so please help me out.
Ndifreke Newara.
Ndifreke Newara.
Yes.
Are you from Ghana?
No, I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, my guy. Now, wow, we're going to go Nigeria after this one now. Oh, boy. Anyway, so
You're welcome.
thank you very much for joining us as well. So, real quick, tell us about Invoicia and how you are empowering SMEs and startups.
Okay. First of all, I'll say Invoicia is a product of Good Factor Technologies. It was created out of the understanding four founders had on payment big businesses had with suppliers.
Okay.
As entrepreneurs, we all had supplied goods and services to big businesses, and we had to wait 30 days or more before getting paid. We all knew that when this happens, most small businesses are cash-strapped because they cannot execute more businesses and their turnover is stagnant.
Right.
So, for example, a small business that supplies a big business and has to wait 90 days, that means they only have a turnover of 4 times a year. But if they could increase it to 6 or 12 times, they will be making more money for that year. So we then looked into this problem. We had to sit down and understand how to solve this because we already felt this problem. And we thought of ways that small business who can actually help. And this also help carve our personas, our target audience, which will be small businesses that supply to reputable businesses and have to wait 30 or more days before getting paid. From observing this relationship, we then created Invoicia. Invoicia is a product that allows these businesses submit their own paid invoices for verification with their buyers and in exchange for early payments at a discounted rate. So basically, that's how Invoicia came about. And that's how we've been supporting small businesses, basically increasing their turnover every year.
So, if I got you correctly, so this time, small businesses supplying to bigger companies, there's a period where they have to wait, that is 30 days before they get paid, yes?
Yes, so after they issue their invoice.
And that gap sometimes costs these smaller businesses, yeah?
Yes.
So that is where you come in to support them based on the invoices they provide of delivering or supplying these goods to the bigger companies, correct?
Exactly.
That's good. So let's talk about your clients. How do you get clients? Do you go out there, publicize your stuff, or they come to you, or you go hunt for people? How do you get them?
So first of all, when we started, it was hard because this process is actually called factoring and is used basically in the U.S., South Africa, Europe, and North Africa. And West Africa is new to the people. So we had to start out educating people, reaching out to the SME associations, and also talking to small businesses around. The first 6 months wasn't easy getting the clients, but as time grew on, we then started getting our client base from referrals because we want a reputable SMEs, not dubious SMEs. We want a reputable SMEs that have outstanding invoices with these big buyers. So largely we get our client base from referrals.
Right, referrals, and I think that has been, good to a larger extent, I believe, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about qualifications. What criteria do these small businesses need to fall within before they, are eligible to get your support?
Okay. First, for a small business, they must be registered. We see many unstructured businesses out there, but first they must be registered. They must sign up on our platform. We do due diligence on them, and they must also introduce us to their large buyer. So after doing this, they must have an outstanding invoice, which is unpaid. But first, we must be able to determine the payment term from their large buyer. So if you say this person pays me in 30 days, you should have invoices and bank statements to prove that in 30 days the payment will come.
Okay.
So after this, and also a due diligence, then you can get funding from our partners.
All right, super. Let's continue. So, Mr. Newara, did I get that correctly?
Yes, you did, finally.
Yeah, finally, thank God. but then tell me, why do you think, sometimes, so aside that 30-day period of helping or supporting these SMEs, do you provide them with startup capital? Say a startup or an SME needs, funding to boost their business or just to start afresh. Do you provide that service as well?
No, for us, no. Our goal is to help them increase their turnover, working capital. We don't help small businesses with startup capital.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Okay. Let's also talk about, should a client, coming to say get that fund, that support in terms of that money, and I believe there's a period that you give to them to pay back. Yes.
Yes.
Good. So what if they are not unable to meet that demand? How do you go about it?
So the funny thing about SMM invoice financing is that it's not actually the SME that is meant to pay us back.
Okay.
It's actually
the company.
Yes, the company that they supply to. And so since those are credible buyers, which have a payment track record, is the probability of them defaulting on that payment, because SM has already supplied the goods and services, and they've already marked it as payment to be delivered in 30 days, which is usually their due date.
Right.
So it's not, you will look at it like a loan, but it's actually a discount for their time value of money.
Oh, it's not so okay. Great. So you don't go after those who come forward, but you rather go for the people they supply the business to.
Yes, those people would give it to us.
How easy is it? I mean, for a company.
So it's basically not like you don't mistake it for debt collection.
Okay.
But, so we are, like I said, we only deal with reputable companies.
Right.
So these are large companies whereby they don't want trouble with their suppliers and everything. Everything is structured out there. So we have to do our own due diligence to know, okay, you supply to this company, I'm accepting invoices from this company.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Right. So a company, a startup, an SME coming to you for support in that regard. So you're looking for a reputable dealer. If that company doesn't have that track record of paying stuff, debts and all of that, you wouldn't go doing business with them. Is that it?
Yes.
So there are categories here. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. I'm speaking to Ndifreke Newara. Pardon me again, my brother. How you go doing? He is the founder, CEO of Invoicia, the Growth Factor Technologies. So, Mr. Newara, tell us, has in any way the cleanup in the banking sector, has it in any way affected operations in terms of your dealings with the SMEs and the startups?
So for us, it has not directly affected us in that way. But I would say it has affected the startups because them getting alternative funding as the bar has been increased because banks are trying to reduce their non-performing loans, and to do that, you must have criteria. You must have collateral in case the loan goes bad. So it has reduced the way SMEs could get loans from the banks as of now. And it was also a good thing because it also strengthened the faith the economy has, the people of Ghana have in their government.
Okay, so tell us, which countries in Africa do you operate in? Is it only Ghana? I believe since Nigeria, you're Nigeria. Of course, we will get some for Nigeria. I'll be at the line. Well, aside Ghana, Nigeria.
So right now we are operating in Ghana.
Okay.
We started in Ghana, but in the long run we hope to scale to different countries and getting different funding partners to scale to different countries. That's the long-term goal.
Okay, real quick, tell us, what are some of the, I was supposed to ask you this earlier, but I'm sure you may have encountered some challenges dealing with these bigger, entities and everything.
Yes. So there are, most times these bigger entities don't like dealing with third parties because some suppliers are not straightforward, and so they don't like to be the one to vouch for the suppliers. Like they just want to go on their business. But with time, we believe once we get the word out there, partner with the right institutions, and everyone come on board, and we believe in West Africa we'll be able to have this smooth sailing, whereby big businesses will be eager and be willing to support small businesses based on their invoices.
All right. So, real quick, so now, can you tell us how we can access you? Talk about our people, our listeners out there, startups, SMEs. How we'll be able to get through to you in terms of we want to start partnering with you in terms of our supplying. We get that invoice. You chase after those who are supposed to pay. How do we get in touch with you?
Okay, so if you want to get in touch, we have a phone number, and we also have our email address, which is info@growthfactor.com, growthfactor.io, info@growthfactor.io. As for those who want to reach us via the phone, it's 050-055-0559.
All right, thank you very much.
And also our website is www.invoicea.com.
Okay. Aside, your operations, could you just quickly tell us how do you think SMEs can be empowered as well? Generally, how do you think? How else can do you think SMEs can be empowered?
In general?
Yeah, in general. I mean, you're doing an incredible job, providing them that funding in terms of their supply, their consignment, supplying to bigger companies and what have you, right? So 30-day period, you give them that money. You go after those that have been supplied with the goods and everything. What other way do you think, SMEs can be empowered?
Also, I think they could be empowered through structure, proper guidance through structure, and also maybe if they have roadmaps, like every quarter they aim to achieve a certain goal and increase it quarter by quarter. That way they can have a track record on where they're coming from and where they're going. It's not about I need funds and I need to collect borrow these funds, but what are you using the funds for? Is it bringing expansion for you? Is it bringing growth for you? Are you able to take on more businesses? Are you able to expand your business? That should be the goal. So it's not only in terms of monetary value, but in terms of services, they can be helped through training and also skill acquisitions.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ndifreke Newara, for joining us on the Africa Daily Show. We hope to engage with you in the future as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
All right. The show continues right here. We're still on, and we will be switching over to speak to Madam Lily Edinam Botsoye, head of community engagement, jobs and internship of Hacklab Foundations. It's been a bit difficult connecting with her, but it seems she's here with us. Madam Ellie, how are you? And good afternoon.
Hi, Barry. Apologies for...
No. Don't worry. It's sorted out. I have abled macho men here, so it's all good. Thank you for your patience as well. Yes? Right. So real quick, let's just go straight to it. I mean, you're ahead of our community engagement, jobs, internship, Hacklab Foundation. Yeah. So tell us, how do you empower these startups and SMEs? How do you go about it?
Right. Thank you so much, and good afternoon to your listeners. In fact, good morning, good evening, depending on where you're listening.
Absolutely.
And happy anniversary to Congo. I mean, I think this is 61.
Okay.
And
wow.
I mean, this is in the spirit of Africa and community and celebrating all of us across the continent.
Absolutely.
So I'll start with what we do at the foundation. What we do is to try to advance ICT across sectors. I mean, and we're doing this by starting from tertiary institutions and sending it to people who are migrating or, let's say, leaving school and going into the job market. How you do this is to call us middlemen, right?
Okay.
We find the sectors, the industry, and match the jobs and the roles you're looking to fill with the talents in our polls from across universities, not just in Ghana, we're sending to other countries. We find out what resources are available to help build, the skills that we're looking to fill, especially when companies are looking for them. So you will see that we are very much rooted for our annual hackathon, and this hackathon is where we see that skills are very much diversified in the country and in the continent, and people are excited about using technology. So we first give you access to resources to want to learn and explore. Like this year, we're looking at AI, and so we had people build solutions across sectors, finance, hospitality, education. And based on the resources they had, they were building an IBM model. You would wonder how people could literally think about solutions to that depth, and that tells you how important resources and matching skills to resources is important. So I was talking about our annual hackathon, and I was telling you how it's interesting, the solutions that are built, because there's access to resources, and then there's opportunity for people to also showcase their talent and what they've been learning. Literally filling the gap between what is taught in theory in school and the need to build industry-ready skills. So first, we'll think about the resources that these people or the students are exposed to be able to build solutions. And we look at the funding that comes through the accelerator program that we are enrolling them into, so they can build their startups, and from there you can also have jobs ongoing, and we can build entrepreneurial story they have in them already.
Okay, so here you deal with startups, you also deal with SMEs who are already operating and all of that. Is that correct?
Right. So for startups not operating already, what we normally do is to help them get the talent. So we are very much in the process of the match that you see for the roles that people are looking for, the SMEs, and for people who are looking to expand. So you see us at the center of the human capital and technology, trying to match these skills to the market, and also having the market get them exposed to the talent that are available in schools and for graduates. So an interesting thing that we do, right, is something we call remote internship program. So I'm chipping this in because of how SMEs are growing. You know, SMEs will usually are often paced at a slower growth rate, right? And they work in the local situation. I mean, working towards growing also. And you see that I was reading a World Bank report that said that they account to a lot of the growth you're seeing in developing countries. I think you also put that in your introduction. You grew about 70%. So these people would want to quickly be matched with talent that are also evolving with the times.
Exactly.
So what we do for them is also to look out for which talent these are and to match them so that they are up and doing with their everyday activities and they can also deliver at the rate they're looking to.
Okay. The show is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. I have my colleagues in the studio with me, and they would definitely be having some questions. But let me ask you this real quick. What area of businesses do you have interactions with in terms of training empowerment? Is it the fintech, the agro? Which particular area there?
Right. So I don't want to give a generic one, but normally you see us do a lot of fintech, but we actually cut across. Depending on what the need is, we're able to also work with you based on the specific need you want. And it's interesting because now technology is not only sidelined to agric and the fintechs and then the health sector. You see it play out in places that you wouldn't think that they would be, and that's how important technology is growing. So we have people who have reached out saying that, okay, we want to even maybe in fact in the work of the coronavirus, we had invites to speak on trainings for even churches. These are people with religious activities who wanted to expand, and then looking at what are the resources we can do. So we look at what training we can give you, what advice we can give you, or what match we can give you to a solution that is on the market, or people who can build a solution for you.
Okay, before I get to my next question, my colleague Hafiz Guna is here. I believe he has tons of questions for you, but please just summarize. I know you. I'm just being honest here. So, Lily, Hafiz is here.
Lily, thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, Hafiz.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Great. So let me put it simply. My understanding of everything you said and what you do in the business sense, that is just simply matchmaking, but in the business sense.
And training and the resource opportunities, and then also the funding that is available. So I take it from three angles. We have the annual hackathon where we have a topic that people code around. So they build a solution and they pitch for funds. So in order for us to ensure that what the pitch and the support they're going to be given it's actually helpful for them, we roll them into an accelerator program. And this year we have the privilege of working with the Ghana Tech Lab to be able to roll this out. So they are in an AI accelerator program to help build our solutions, to make it as realistic as possible. Because in our part of the world, you want to look at there's even infrastructure. That's what you want to think about first.
Right.
And so you want them to be fully in tune, and the ideas are modeled well so that they can be able to build solutions that are usable. So first, there was the part where you're able to pitch. You're given the resource to build a solution, and this year we use the IBM Watson platform. So there was training for IBM Watson. So first, there's the resource availability. There's the IBM Watson for you to build on. Then you pitch your idea. So when you pitch your idea, then there's an opportunity for you to get a fund. So that's what we want to do, and our good plan is actually to make the learning of ICT easy and make the working in the ICT sector also very easy, because there's availability of training, of resources, and funding.
Okay, Hafiz, is that okay for you? All right, Epifania is here as well. Epi, throw your question.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Epifania.
Yes, I just want to ask, what are some of the challenges you encountered, being able to put this together?
Interesting. So let me give you sometimes it sounds very funny for us at the Hacklab Foundation, right? But it's one of our biggest problems. That is having people commit to completing the accelerator program. People think that the ideas are up to scale already. They don't need the grooming of the idea, and they just want to take the money and run with it. But we see how lack of planning sometimes would lead many startups and SMEs into a ditch. So you would see the challenge of people leaving pitching and reaching the end, but not being available to commit to completing the accelerator program and going through to the finish line, so that we can say your idea has been tested, it has been vouched for industry experts, and they can be rolled onto the market. So they go all the way, and they have to now trace their steps back and build from scratch, because sometimes the solutions may have to be shared because the immediate need is not what the target audience is looking for. So is that testing? People are fast to run with the idea and not wanting to really train it to see if this is workable, because you just think, I have this idea in my mind, it works well, and I'm able to make money with it, and they run with it. But there's that ability because of the times we're in to train whatever solution you're doing, empathize in a smaller population and move it on to another. That's one of the challenges. Another one is that we want to, as part of our plan, right, we are trying to do the remote internship program, and I was mentioning this early on, where even people in schools leave school with a bit of experience. So you're in school, but you're able to work remotely, and you see issues of internet and electricity being also stifling our ability to roll this out, because on campuses, you don't know how connected you'll be. So we're thinking, how can we match you to somebody who is who's in live production and wanting your services to have some solution running. So
Okay.
we've rolled this out. Those are some of the things, infrastructure-wise and commitment-wise, stifle our ability to really have people matched and fully functional.
Right. I'm speaking to Lily Edinam Botsoye, head of community engagement, jobs and internship of Hacklab Foundation's. Mami Abba has a final question here. So,
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Mariaba. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good.
Okay, so I want to ask. So let's say I come up with an idea. Can I just contact Hacklab Foundation and then say, oh, I want an idea and I need training and maybe funding?
Yes.
Or do I have to wait for a hackathon to happen?
Right. So you don't have to wait for a hackathon because every time, aside the hackathon is like a major intake of startups and people we interact with. But we have daily people who reach out and say, I'm looking for this person to work with or this idea to invest in or this startup to build. So who knows? By the time you would have been holding on to your idea, there'll be an investor who is probably looking for your kind of startup to work with. So feel free to always. Our website is hacklabfoundation.org. There are emails, there are contact numbers you can reach us on. So if you have any idea you want to maybe test out or get investment for, who knows, we can work with you. So do reach out and don't hold on until the next hackathon. Trainings you can also be a part of. We have webinars from time to time. You see us do even advertisements for jobs. We recruit for national service and for mainstream jobs for people and internship. So you can reach out to us and say, I have the skill in this field. If you have open roles, can you match me to it? And we are glad to do so for you.
right. All right, thank you, Mami. So real quick, does any one of these startups or one who has this brilliant idea, do I need to fall within a certain category or it's open? In terms of qualifications, I mean, is it an open
to be able
space?
to pitch for funding.
Yeah.
It's an open space. It's an open space post the hackathon. But during the hackathon, we normally have an idea that you code around. So this year we're looking at AI. So all your solutions
Artificial intelligence, huh?
Yeah.
Great.
Yes. All your solutions are supposed to be built on AI. And last in the years prior to this year, we had financial inclusion.
Okay.
We've had the third industrial revolution and ideas around it. So in the hackathon, the ideas are normally around the topic. But you can pick any sector like health, environment, education to build around. But outside that, if you're reaching out to us to partner on anything, your idea can be anywhere that's tech related. Yes.
Right, super. Hackathon, Hacklab Foundation, I believe that's where we can find more about you, hacklabfoundation.org, yes?
Yeah.
Super. So for all of you listening to us, wherever you find yourself, trust me, it is an open space, irrespective of where you are. But then we're based on the yearly hackathon, has to do with the theme they come along with. So this year, she talked about artificial intelligence. So if you're into AI, you're ready to build the next Iron Man, all you need to do is contact Lily and you can talk about that. Okay, thank you very much, Lily, for joining us on the Africa Daily Show. Looking forward for future interactions as well. Yes?
Right.
Take care and thank you so much. And once again, apologies for the challenges and everything. Yes. Okay, the show continues right here on the Africa Daily Show. But then another vehicle out there that's all about empowering startups is the MEST Express Accelerator Program, which I have to say, trust me, I have to say, Africa Global Radio has been a direct beneficiary of. Now, there's a new MEST application, and trust me, that is out there for you people to take advantage of. And this, I'm talking about the 20 weeks free training, mentorship, resources, and support for startups. I mean, we know how difficult it is to actually, come by these elements, talk about training, getting that empowerment, the idea of how to go about your business. And even the funding, they give you that money. And yeah, after a short period, we were saying something, the business actually, go to waste and everything. But this time, this is actually a skill set they actually, imbibing into. So at the end of the program, startups will have the opportunity to pitch to top performing businesses with the opportunity to receive equity-free grant funding. Now, MEST Express is under the Mastercard Foundation's Young Africa Work Strategy in partnership with MEST. So if you are in Tamale, talk about Tamale here in our base Ghana, that's the northern region, the deadline to get on board is the 2nd of July. So today's the 30th. We have 2 days to go. If you are in Accra, it's the 12th of July. So get ready to get on board. Trust me, it's a big opportunity, and do not let it go. For more information, go to mestafrica.com. And yeah, I'm sure most of our startups, most of our SMEs qualify for within these categories. Take advantage of it. We know how it is, how the rising of unemployment is. I mean, some actually don't even get into SMEs and startups because of unemployment, because they love it, because they have these brilliant ideas. Others will also want to get into it because of unemployment issues and what have you. But it's actually a great program. It's a great initiative, and let's take advantage of it right here. So thank you very much for joining us on our discussions. And if you have any comments, just leave them below. Of course, this video will definitely be uploaded on YouTube, so leave a comment. Tell us what you think about it. If there's any areas you're finding a bit challenging, we'll definitely try to bring these answers to you. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it, subscribe, and share.